How can you come from a group of people who have been the most privileged on the face of this planet, those who have the most wealth on the face of this planet, those with the most opportunities at their footsteps, but you choose to travel your dumb ass way across the world and wind up locked up and busted in Bangkok? Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, CAC in the Spotlight. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video. And in this video presentation, we are going to use this Caucasian man on the screen as a cautionary tale. And why? Because he was busted in Bangkok for smuggling heroin. So what I'm going to do is watch a couple of videos, react to them, and share with y'all something that is educational and worth sharing with other people who are traveling to the other side of the world.
Thai customs officers at Suvarnabhumi Airport arrested a Canadian man on June 30th for attempting to smuggle over 3 kilograms of heroin hidden in women's handbags. Suspicious luggage weight led to an X-ray and detailed inspection, revealing heroin concealed in stitched handbag linings with suitcase walls. The man, bound for Taiwan, now faces serious charges.
Yeah, hear that? The man bound for Taiwan because he coming to my country over here. I had to speak on this.
Under Thailand's drug trafficking laws, the heroin street value was estimated at over 1 million baht. Authorities are probing possible links to a wider trafficking ring. This marks the 28th heroin smuggling case intercepted by Thai customs since October 2024.
The 28th intercepted case by customs since 2024. That means that some people out here, man, they got that proclivity that need to go out and party and abuse their body with substances. Because this man was caught in Thailand, okay, in Bangkok, in the airport, okay, let's find out what may happen to him in Thailand.
You'd have to be very desperate or very stupid to do drugs in Thailand. After all, the warnings couldn't be any clearer, the penalties any tougher. But still, Australians keep getting caught. Still, they're shocked when they find themselves in some of the world's most appalling, most brutal jails, like the notorious Bangkok Hilton. In a way, though, they're the lucky ones. Thailand's a place where when they say zero tolerance, they mean it, where more than 2,000 drug traffickers were killed on the streets last year.
Damn, y'all, I tell you, they ain't playing. Killed on the spot, on the streets. They ain't playing.
Step behind the bars of the infamous Bangkok Hilton, and it's the number of women that's overwhelming. The number who've taken the gamble. Nearly 6,000 in this one small jail. Most have thrown their lives away for drugs. With the average sentence 25 years or more, many will die in this place. It's not a good life.
Not a good, because it's such a long time, because the drug is very serious crime in Thailand.
By day, the prison operates as a sweatshop, the women filling in the endless hours, learning skills they'll never use. By night, they fill the cells like sardines. How many women are in this cell?
200.
200 women in here?
Yes.
How do they fit?
Yeah.
During our time at the Bangkok Hilton, prison officer Pashrapur made sure we saw only what they wanted us to see.
Just a moment, would you please?
Some parts of the jail were strictly off limits, as was access to foreign prisoners, including 3 Australian women. That's why they're here, but how do they cope? If you're stupid enough to do the crime in Thailand, then perhaps you deserve to do the monumental time. But being here in the Bangkok Hilton, it's hard to imagine how anyone could face spending 25, 30, 50 years in here. As sanitised a version as we're getting today, this is not a nice place. Across town, the men's version of the Bangkok Hilton is Bang Kwang, known as the Big Tiger because it eats people alive. When you hear that you're coming here, do you get very frightened as a prisoner?
Yeah, because this is the most maximum security prison.
Like the women's prison, this jail is horribly overcrowded.
I'm Tara.
Tara, how about a handshake?
Most inmates are here because of drugs, including Australians Bobby Halliwell and Robert Foley.
So you don't have to worry, I'm not going to speak bad.
They agreed to talk to us about life in Bangkok, but Thai authorities insisted we film them from behind.
It's deadening, it deadens your soul. It just turns you. For me, I can't speak for anyone else, it just turns me hard.
The prison's so overcrowded, it's like a time bomb ticking, waiting to go off.
You sit here and you tell me how terrible the conditions are here, but it doesn't look that bad.
You look beautiful, do. Makeup, my dear. Cosmetics, snow job.
That's what it reminds me of. The House of the Rising
Why don't
Sun.
they let you come in the hellhole? I thought you had to die to go to hell, but hell is right here. What would your reaction be? Life in prison? I haven't got much life left anyway.
There'd be some who'd think hell is too good for Bobby Halliwell. Having already served a 5-year sentence for an earlier drug offence in Thailand, he's now in for life for trying to smuggle heroin to Australia. What were you doing with the heroin? You know the rules and regulations of this country.
When you're addicted to heroin, you don't think about any rules. All you're thinking about is every day getting some to feel normal or whatever you want to be again.
That's what he said, y'all. When you are addicted to drugs, you don't care about everyday rules. All you are concerned about, the only thing that you're concerned with getting is that drug to make yourself feel normal again, okay? Make yourself feel normal. Addicts.
Are you still a drug addict?
No. I haven't used any drugs for a year, but if you want them, it's here. Everything's here except a woman.
I feel embarrassed, I feel ashamed of myself.
He claims he's innocent, but Thai police accuse Robert Foley of being the Australian link in an international drug trafficking ring.
Explain to you.
Now in his 7th year in jail, he's still waiting for his appeal to be heard. Is it hard to hold on to your sanity?
It is, yes. But, I mean, there's guys that walk around here, I kid you not, they're zombies. These are Westerners and I'm talking to them and I'm thinking, my God, you know, am I you? But I'm not. I'm not like that. I've maintained a high level of sanity, I think.
7 years waiting on a goddamn
For 6
appeal.
years, Lal Donegal was one of those zombies, jailed in Bangkok for trying to smuggle heroin. Now, after a rare pardon by the King of Thailand, he's a free man back home in Sydney.
Things can always get worse when you're over there. Can always get worse. And there's even things worse than death down here.
What are they?
Being amongst the people who are dying, watching them die, and not being able to help.
That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy.
Lal Donegal was caught with 34 grams of heroin at Bangkok airport. He was sentenced to death, later reduced to life because he pleaded guilty.
Bahan Sawit was the words, and I'd learned enough Thai to know that meant immediate execution. Then they went in, there was 5 judges, they went into a powwow for about 10 minutes and come back out with, 50-year sentence.
Was that sentence any easier to hear than death?
Well, that's why I yelled out, what's the difference? 50 years or death, it's the same thing.
Think about that,
I
y'all.
was just thinking
You go into
execution
the
would have been a bit
penitentiary,
quicker.
the prison, thinking that you're going to the death sentence, you're going to die one day, you're going to pick to death.
Just contemplate having to spend the rest of your life in a jail like this. Even the guards know how tough it is. They put prisoners in leg irons for their first 3 months, not to stop them escaping, but to stop them killing themselves.
Damn.
They put them on with a sledgehammer.
You talk about
You can't
control.
pick a lock or anything to get them off. And I got infections around my ankles and that. It took years for the scars to come off.
It's simple. Don't break the law, right?
Do
Don't
you
break the
accept
law.
that if you
Promote
take
that.
the
Do not
risk in this
break the law.
country, that you deserve whatever punishment they give
Smuggling
you?
drugs, it ain't worth it.
Oh, well, I could say that, and I could, a fair cop in Australia for a kilo of heroin is 6 years, and you do 4 years and you're free. But here in Thailand, I don't know why, they're killing people and giving sentences. There's people in here 20 years and they'll never get out because they're so old.
And you really don't know why? I mean, they're trying to stop people like you.
Well, how can they? I'm a little fish, my dear. What about the big 600 kilo bus in Australia? You know where all that comes from? Thailand.
Thailand producing the drugs, exporting the drugs, and they're
Over there is Myanmar, the old Burma. Across the river is Laos, And here is Thailand.
It sounds like a corrupt
This is the
system.
Golden Triangle, one of the world's biggest producers of opium and heroin. But when it comes to amphetamines, the figures are also astronomical. Just to give you an idea, something like 700 million tablets of amphetamines are smuggled in over the Myanmar border each year. Now, to counter that, Thailand has declared war on drugs. In the last 12 months, more than 72,000 arrests have been made. 2,500 suspected drug dealers and traffickers have been shot dead, and still the drugs keep coming.
The war on drugs. It kind of sounds like what was it the Reagan administration was trying to do, right? Or was somebody was trying? Reagan, Nixon, Clinton, somebody. One of them presidents was talking about the war on drugs. I think it was a goddamn plot, a plan to lock people up. Okay, I can't say that's what's going on here in Thailand. Okay, I can't say that. But I know how drugs have been put into our communities purposely to get people locked up, to get them offed by the system. Yeah,
How much heroin is
Look at them
here?
bricks.
The actual heroin is about 15 kilograms.
In his latest victory, he seized 280,000 amphetamine tablets and 15...
You know what? Looking at this table, this reminds me of Frank Lucas, right? If y'all don't know, Frank Lucas was probably one of the most notorious drug dealers from New York, who was bigger than the mafia, and he was smuggling heroin to the States through airplanes and helicopters that were bringing the bodies of veterans who had served in the Vietnam War, who had lost their lives. Frank Lucas was a smart man when it comes about getting money, but he was a ridiculously stupid man about maintaining his freedom.
15 kilograms of high-grade heroin. You can see why people take the risk. In the Golden Triangle, you could buy this heroin haul for $300,000, but sell it on the streets of Sydney or Melbourne, and it's worth $40 million. While it's pretty amazing to see this quantity of drugs close up, what's even stranger is the calm demeanour of this man, caught red-handed with the heroin and now basically dead man walking. If this guy is convicted, what happens to him?
Because the quantity of drug found, he might get life imprisonment.
So minimum, if he's a caretaker, he may get life. If he is more involved, this man...
That be capital punishment.
...will die.
Dead.
Death. Crazy, y'all.
Of course, the court will decide this man's fate, but chances are... So these are real bullet holes? He'll end up here, the execution chamber at Bangkok prison. Now, prisoners sentenced to death die by injection. Until last year, they were shot. By this man, the musical Chawalat Jarabam, Bangkok's chief executioner, has killed 55 prisoners.
How the hell do you reconcile those emotions, y'all? On Monday, you gotta put the man to death. On Tuesday, you can play the guitar and sit back and enjoy your life. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's a fucked up world. Now, what I want to do is turn my attention to focus over to Taiwan, where I'm living in the world currently. So let's see what they're talking about. How are drug offenses treated in Taiwan?
3 men, including 2 Taiwanese nationals, were sentenced to death by the KL High Court today after they were found guilty of trafficking in 8 kilograms of drugs into the country. Judge Dato Azman Abdullah handed down the sentence on salesman Wong Fu Tai, carpenter Chen Chi Wen, both Taiwanese, and a Malaysian, Chia Chi Seng, after finding that the defense had failed to raise a reasonable doubt against the prosecution's case. They were charged under Section 39B1A of the Dangerous Drugs Act, which provides the death sentence upon conviction.
39B1A provides for the death sentence. Y'all remember that? 39B1A, okay? In a minute, I'm going to show something to y'all.
They were charged under Section 39B1A of the Dangerous Drugs Act, which provides the death sentence upon conviction.
39B1A, which provides for the death sentence upon conviction, y'all. Y'all remember that? Y'all see that? This is 39B1A written in Chinese, okay? And this talks about all of the drugs that are criminally outlawed in Taiwan. Okay, y'all read through that list right there. Some of these names I have never seen before, but some of them I have. Number 2, cocaine. 6, heroin. Okay, we know what heroin is, right? what this white man was busted with in Thailand. Same thing is true about Taiwan. It's punishable by death. Opium, morphine. Okay. Now, saying this, you can find morphine in the hospitals, but it has to be administered by somebody who has that appropriate authorization to have those drugs. Okay. For example, a surgeon, a doctor, whoever in the hospital. Street drugs, forget about it. Okay. I'm sharing all these drugs to tell y'all that they are not playing when it comes to drugs in Taiwan. In Taiwan, you will be put to death. Now, going back here to this white dude who traveled all the way from Canada to Bangkok just to get busted smuggling some heroin, he threw his life away. And why? Was he an addict? Did he need some extra money? Or was he a middleman trying to deliver that package and get broke off handsomely by the true drug lords? I don't know. But whatever it is, smuggling drugs, using drugs of any sort in any foreign country, okay, it ain't worth it. That's the takeaway point from this video. We can learn from this stupid ass white man right here who came from wealth, opportunity, affluency, and he throws his life away for what? For what?